A lot of people are genuinely scared of pickpockets in Paris, and I understand why. But don't be scared, be aware. Awareness is the key. So in this video, we're going to tell you the classic dumb mistakes tourists keep making when they are in the metro in Paris. We'll tell you what to look for, what to avoid, and the stuff you shouldn't do. And at the end, we'll give you a couple of important tips. Allez, on y va. First mistake that people make is not having a money belt when they are in the metro in Paris. Pickpockets are not a Paris thing. You'll find pickpockets in all the major European cities, including London, Barcelona, and Rome. A money belt is step number one in securing your valuables. The money belt goes under your shirt and will secure your cash, credit cards, phone, and any valuable stuff you need to carry with you. And don't wait until you're here to think about that. There are plenty available online. I'm gonna put a link in the description to my favorite one. Look, pickpockets are very skilled at what they do. Don't let those bastards ruin your vacation. Put your valuables where they can't get their slimy hands on it. And that is a money belt.
One of the most frequent questions we get is, do I have to carry my passport with me when I'm out and about in Paris? And the straight answer is no. For any place that could require identification, your driver's license with a picture on it should work. Losing your passport in Paris is a major deal. You'll probably spend a couple of days going back and forth between the consulate and embassy to get a temporary passport so you can go home. And trust me, I have gone through getting new passports at the consulate, and you don't want to do that. So don't carry your passport with you. Leave it in a safe in your hotel room. And if you come up with any reason why you want to carry it with you when you're out and about, put it in a money belt under your shirt or bury it deep in your bag so nobody can get it. Another mistake tourists make in Paris is carrying all their cash around with them. First of all, you hardly ever need any cash in France because most places, even food stands and fresh markets, will have a touchless credit card machine. And people ask us all the time, how much should I bring with me? We've heard people say they were walking around with 500 euros in cash and they took most of that home with them. It's always a good idea to have cash with you for tipping or those just-in-case moments like needing coins for the toilet, but you really won't need much. And if you're carrying it around with you, put it in a money belt under your shirt where no thief is going to get to it.
Another mistake that people do in the metro is having a backpack on. You probably don't need half the stuff you carry with you. And putting the backpack in the front looks super uncomfortable and kind of silly. That's why I have a sling that can be right in front of me without being too cumbersome. My rule is, if it doesn't fit my sling, then I probably don't need it. And you don't need to carry a water bottle with you. This isn't the Grand Canyon. There are cafes at every street corner. And carrying a water bottle with you is a sure way to tell pickpockets that you are a tourist. So carry your sling and use your backpack for travel days only. Another mistake that people make is using the metro during peak hours when everybody is crammed together. Oftentimes, we'll skip one or two metro until one shows up with less people. Also, there may be more people in the front of the train and less in the back. People tend to cram the wagons near the exit halls. Walk to the other hand and see if there are less people in that wagon. Pickpockets love when everybody is crammed together so they can get their sticky fingers and do their dirty work without anyone noticing. On that note, beware of pickpockets with a coat over their arm or the ladies with the large empty canvas bag. They use it to hide their hand. Bottom line, avoid the metro when it's crammed with people. That's the most vulnerable position to put yourself in. Use a different line or take a detour if needed, but we avoid that at all costs.
By the way, Antoine and I travel all the time, including close to 30 times back and forth between the US and France in the last few years. So we know a thing or two about how to pack, what to pack, and obviously what you need for the essentials in Paris. So we put a link in the description below to some of our favorite must-have items so you can check it out and see if any of those are something that you need for your trip. Another mistake people make is carrying their shopping bags from luxury stores and department stores on the metro with them. That's a great way to become an instant target when people see you walking around with all those bags. It just says, I have stuff that you want to take and stuff that you can turn into liquid cash. They'll grab it and run. So if you're going to the trouble and expense of buying some nice expensive gifts and souvenirs to bring home, splurge on a taxi. It will cost you a little bit more, but you can also have some good peace of mind. And by the way, when it comes to those plain white unbranded bags. Everybody knows about those now. There's too many Instagram reels and silly things about that. They're gonna expect if you're walking around with an unbranded plain white bag that you've got good stuff in there too. Don't fall for the false confidence of that. Take the taxi, just trust me.
Another mistake that people make is being on their phone when they're in the metro. This is not the time to be checking your Instagram account or getting distracted. Do you want to know what pickpockets love? It's distracted people in the metro. Put the phone down, place it in your money belt, and pay attention. Yes, many Parisians around you will be on their phone, but they know where they are and they know where they're going, and especially what to look for, and you probably don't.
Another mistake people make is getting on the train and sitting or standing right by the door. As soon as you get in, try to find a spot that's away from the door, because near the door is a favorite spot for pickpockets, so they can grab your stuff and make a quick exit. The further you are away from the door, the better your chances are that they'll choose another target instead of you. I also like to have my back against the wall so I don't have to worry who's behind me. And if you can't get space around you because it's crowded, Antoine and I will go face to face and watch each other's back. And with our valuables in between us, we feel safe, especially since we know what to look for in a pickpocket. But we'll talk about that later. And whatever you do, don't let anyone get between you and your travel partner. And if you don't feel safe, just get off and wait for the next train, because it's usually only 3 or 4 minutes later.
The next mistake is not to know what to look for, or specifically who to look for. Pickpockets travel in group of at least 3 people. They'll have empty bags or a coat over their arm, which is there to hide their hand. Also, look for people on the platform. Regular travelers will be on their phone, talking to a friend and minding their business. If you see 3 people together without backpacks and looking at the passengers on the platform, that's a dead giveaway. Pickpockets look for easy targets. They scan the crowd and search for distracted tourists. They may be by the ticket machines or in the hallways with the multiple directions or on the platform. Sometimes they're young female, sometimes they're older male. Just look for suspicious behaviors and be alert. Remember, they're looking for an easy target. Don't look like one.
Now, this one may seem obvious, but wearing expensive jewelry or carrying around the latest iPhone, probably not a good idea. Because if you're flashing those things around, you're just asking for it. Every woman in Paris knows to cover her jewelry under her shirt or in the metro, and the same is true for anything a thief could grab and run away with. And the latest iPhones are a prime target because they can make a lot of money on those really quick. Your phone will be sold on the black market before you're done filling out a police report. Just keep it zipped and resist the temptation to flash your expensive gear. It's just not worth it.
So here are a couple of tips that we promised you at the beginning of the video. The first one is, if you catch a thief with their hands in your pocket, do not get physical or violent with them. It's most likely going to end up being a bad idea for you. One of the reasons Europe has so many pickpockets is because of our laws. The presumption of innocence is first and foremost. And if someone attempts to steal from you, it does not give you the right to beat them up. And if you do, you're going to end up at the police station and you will face battery, and they'll be back on the street. And the second tip is to have a backup plan and a copy of all your documents with you. Getting your belongings stolen can be a major bummer when you're on vacation. These days, most people are vigilant, but we still hear once in a while from someone dealing with replacing credit cards and passports, and that sucks. Have a backup copy of all your legal documents in digital format that you could quickly get printed if needed. And always have a backup credit card back at your hotel, just in case. Also, have a printed list of important phone numbers on a sheet of paper in your hotel. Honestly, I don't know Colleen's phone number by heart. If someone stole my phone, I wouldn't even know her number so I could call her. But it's typed on a document that is uploaded in the cloud in an encrypted server that I know the login and password by heart. In the worst case scenario, I would be able to get a hold of people. Bottom line, have a copy of everything back at the hotel. In this video, we showed you the mistake that people keep making in the metro. Next, I would watch this video about the best street food in Paris.